Hey, what's up? Welcome to your Tuesday edition of Locked On Raptors. And on today's show, we are going to play a fun little game called Would You Rather, Raptors Edition, with special guest Jamar Hinds from Raptors Republic and TSN. But I guess we also have to talk about the fact that the team has come into the plague once again. Where have you heard this before? The Raptors, as of the time of this recording, with 7 players in the protocols, including 4 of their regular starters. It's all kind of fallen into crap in the NBA right now. We'll talk about that with Jamar as well off the top. But for the most part, we'll have some fun with Would You Rather scenarios surrounding your Toronto Raptors. That's all coming up on today's episode of the podcast. Thanks for being here.
You are Locked On Raptors, your daily Toronto Raptors podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to episode number 1082 of Locked On Raptors for Tuesday, December the 21st. I'm your host, Sean Woodley of RaptorsHQ.com. You can find me on Twitter as always, at WoodleySean. You can find the show at Locked On Raptors, where you can find links to every single episode of the podcast. And of course, please make sure to check out the podcast for free on all of your favorite podcast platforms. You can subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, all that good stuff. And you can subscribe to the podcast on YouTube as well, which is very much appreciated and really helps to stroke my ego. All I want for Christmas is a stroked ego. Please subscribe to the YouTube page to oblige. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Truebill, who are saving you money by helping you identify and stop paying for the subscriptions that you no longer want or need. You can just even negotiate better deals through Truebill as well on the subscriptions that you want to keep. Check them out. They are wonderful over at Truebill.com. And as always, a thank you for making us your first listen of the day. Let's get to it. On today's show, we are joined by Jamar Hinds from Raptors Republic and TSN to talk about some Raptors Would You Rather scenarios in the first of a 2-part episode that's going to get you through this gameless week, or perhaps gameless, we're not sure, because the Toronto Raptors is here. We're going to start on this. The Raptors currently have 7 players in the protocols at the time of recording, including Scottie Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent Jr., Fred VanVleet, Delano Banton, Malachi Flynn, now Precious Achiuwa as well, who was in there last week and is in there again. It's not great. As Woj tweeted, it's a full outbreak in Toronto. Yet, as we speak, they are reportedly about to board a plane to Chicago to go play the Bulls tomorrow. The Bulls, a team that have just kind of emerged from their COVID protocol hell. Jamar, this game shouldn't be happening, right? I know they've done the replacement players thing, and they have Brandon Goodwin and Jawan Morgan and probably some more guys now that they have 7 guys in the protocols. But, like, what are we doing here?
You know what? That's news to me. I did not know. I
Breaking news on the pod.
I knew it was 5. I knew it was 5.
Yeah.
I haven't checked Twitter in the last 10 minutes or whatever. So I didn't know that went up to 7, because I was even saying Scottie run the point off 48 minutes, and now he's in the protocol, and
Yep.
Precious is back.
Yep, Precious is back, baby. Back with a vengeance. Yeah.
So how many players do we have?
I think that would leave the Raptors with, oh God, do I have to pull up the roster?
Because I mean,
we hot and heavy right now.
We have injuries too, right? And then we signed, a couple of guys from the G League or something. We're almost at the number where they're gonna have to postpone the game. Because I mean, why is it gonna stop at 7? It feels like it's gonna be more.
That's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, hop on that plane. I'm sure there's no more spread to be had here. As soon as you hop on the plane, it's gone. The pressurized air removes the virus or something. That's not the thinking, by the way. That's not how it works. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. I'm just losing my mind here. So yeah, the Raptors figure tomorrow to have, of their regular main roster guys, OG Anunoby, Chris Boucher, Justin Champagnie. Sounds like Kem Birch is still out, so I don't think they're going to have Kem Birch. David Johnson's hurt. Delano Banton's in the protocols. They'll have Isaac Bonga, Svi Mihailik. That's 5 of the regular guys. You throw in Brandon Goodwin and Jawan Morgan, that's 7. And I guess they'll have to sign a couple more guys with the hardship now that they've had all these guys go out. Probably as many as 6 guys, I guess, is the mandate right now. It all seems pretty stupid. At what point are these results just I haven't taken much from a game in the last 2 weeks in terms of tangible, meaningful takeaways other than that Scottie Barnes rules. But at what point do you think the results of the season are going to be once again skewed by the fact that they're just trudging on through despite all these outbreaks?
Well, this is basically PTSD from last season because last
No
season,
kidding.
we were what were we? I want to say we were 17 and 16, or we were
Yep, something like
fourth.
that.
We were fourth, and then everything just went to hell. And
Mhm.
we're hovering around that 500 mark, almost the exact same record, and everything looked like it's going to hell again. I would say, in fairness, I mean, the Bulls game that was supposed to be here got
Yeah.
postponed last week because they were breaking out. So this is basically just the reverse. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this game's not gonna get played. I don't think the Raptors are playing until they play I can't talk. They play the Cavs, which would be next Monday or maybe no, I think that's Sunday. That's Sunday. I
Boxing
don't
Day,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this game's gonna get played because I don't think this is gonna stop at 7. Because
That's yeah. Like if you've been
I
paying
just learned
attention,
this. I just
yeah.
learned this. So
I'm glad I
so
could bring the good news to you on the podcast, Jamar. I'm really, really thankful I could do that. Yeah, I think, look, there's different science that's sort of being kicked around about, is there even a point in stopping the season right now and pausing the season? I don't think we're going to see a full pause or anything like
no,
that because it just seems like the worms are way too far out of the can at this point with Omicron that it's probably not worth it. And there is, I guess, sort of the idea that eventually everyone's going to get it anyway. That's obviously a silly way to think about this. And I think the sort of dimming down of the severity of it, which, the science suggests that perhaps it is not tied to increased hospitalizations, which is good, but it's still so early that we can't say anything for sure. And also, even a small percentage of an enormous number is a lot of people. And if we get to an enormous number with this spread, the hospital system and all that is still going to be underburdened. And so I think, like, the idea of just continuing to trudge through in these instances where you could very easily cancel and postpone and reschedule a game down the line, in place of a full stoppage, I feel like that's the least the NBA can do. But I guess their sort of implementation of this replacement player thing is just going to suggest that they're going to
yeah.
power through and make it happen. Do you have any like dream replacement players the Raptors could sign to make tomorrow, if they do play, a little bit less depressing? Like, is there any old faves you want to go see them drum up from the the G League, or call someone from overseas? I guess they can't do that for protocol reasons too. But give me
Right.
some old classics. CJ Miles already signed with the Celtics, but you got
Yeah,
anybody of that ilk that you're
that was
looking
cool to
for?
see. Uh, I mean, them getting Stauskas was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot. Oh, yeah. Stauskas will be there too. So yeah,
Yeah.
great. They'll
So
have 8
if
guys now.
if I was just hey, just bring another Canadian on board. If I was just think off someone off rip, I like the Stauskas thing.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder, what would be funny? This is not Raptor related, but because they just retired his number, and I don't think they've had an outbreak yet. But say Memphis was to have an outbreak and they bring Zach Randolph back. Yeah, let's go, Zebo. Your number's in the stands. Would he have to wear a different number like Jordan?
Yeah, of
Because his
course
number,
it's retired. The rules are it's clear. He can't wear the number. He is
but it's
retired.
his
He would be
number.
disrespecting himself.
It's his number. No, bring it back. It's not Raptors related, but to see Zebo back would be really fun. You just
Yeah.
go find Marc Gasol while you're at it.
Honestly, Marc Gasol is laughing right now, just hanging over in Europe, eating grapes off the vine, wearing linens. He's all set. He's like player coaching with whatever team he's playing for. I would like to advocate for the Raptors to sign Amir Johnson with a hardships exception. He's, of course,
Okay.
with the G League Ignite
Yep.
right now,
Yeah,
being the
that's
team dad down there. And shit, bring Jarrett Jack with him too. I don't care. Make it at least somewhat sort of nostalgic if we're going to have to sort of sit through a game featuring a starting lineup of OG, Svi, Brandon Goodwin, like Justin Champ. Like, it's so dire, man. There's only so many ways I can get sad about it before it kind of moves into the theater of the absurd and I just get like giggly and it becomes stupid. So apologies if that's like not the coping mechanism everybody wants to be watching right now, but I have no other sort of like way to grapple with this other than to hope that they sign Damari Carroll to like a revenge
no, no, no,
contract
no,
where
no,
you
no,
can
no,
come
no,
back. No, no,
no,
no.
no, no.
Here's the thing: they bring back Damari Carroll, and he like makes good on all the bad from when he was with the team. He just like he has like a 30-point game. Well, we can leave that conversation there for now. The listeners out there in the YouTube comments, if you'd like, drop in who you would like to see the Raptors sign with a hardship exception. They might sign someone during this podcast. Who's to say? We're recording this at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. They could have 19 players in the protocols by the time we finish talking. It just seems like it's a never-ending cycle of Woj reports. We're going to continue on, though. We're going to dive into the actual crux of this podcast, which is Would You Rather scenarios. We're going to do 2 parts. You're going to get it today and tomorrow. We're going to dig into some fun Would You Rathers I have devised, sent over to Jamar ahead of time, and we're going to talk through them here and have some evergreen fun here when fun is hard to come by in NBA talk. We'll get to all that in just 1 second. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Truebill, who are incredible and are saving you money on the subscriptions that if you have signed up for and have forgotten to unsign up for or to cancel or to end your free trial. I do this all the time. I sign up for a free trial thinking, ooh, free stuff. I love free stuff. And then I forget that I've done that. And then 30 days later, I get the little notification, your payment has been processed for this thing that you do not want or need. Well, Truebill is here to stop that from happening for you. It is the app that helps you identify and stop paying for the subscriptions that you no longer want or need, or you simply forgot about because companies make it so hard to cancel subscriptions. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap, and your Truebill concierge is there to help you when you need them as well, and to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. It is the only product we've ever had that comes with a concierge. I feel like that is its selling point all on its own. It's the fanciest word we've ever had in one of these ad reads. Truebill has over 2 million users and has helped them save over $100 million. That is a lot of scratch, baby, that you could be spending on things better than e-card websites or free trials for MLB TV or whatever it might be. You can get that money back and no longer pay what you don't want to be paying. Go to truebill.com/LockedOnNBA right now to start canceling. And you can go right now, of course, and get thousands of dollars a year potentially saved of what you're paying out to these companies. Go right now for truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. That is truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. They're going to save you some money. And today's show is brought to you by our pals over at BetOnline.ag as well. They have you covered this holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues to march through the college bowl season and through the pro football playoffs, of course, as well. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. You can head to the website or mobile device and sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus. And on your first deposit, just use the promo code LOCKEDON to get that bonus. That's a great deal. From basketball, football, hockey, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports, so don't wait and go now to BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, Jamar, it's time to play Would You Rather, everyone's favorite game that you played with your high school friends when you were drinking Vex in the park. Let's dig in here, shall we, to the first question I've devised here. It's a pretty simple one. I think this is probably a question some Raptors fans have already thought about, maybe even more so now that a lot of their players are in the protocols and losses seem to be on the horizon. My first Would You Rather here in our 2-part Would You Rather extravaganza, Jamar, is would you rather the Raptors make the postseason and get swept in the first round or land a top 10 pick and miss the postseason this year? I will give it to you, sir, to take away.
So we're back to PTSD again. All right.
Yep, we are.
So because
reliving it all.
if you remember Raptors Twitter last year, this was a massive divide where it's just like, okay, tank for Cade, or no, I'd like to make the play in. You never know what could happen. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, Masai was like, playing for what? So he decided that on his own.
Sure.
Do I want to see that 2 years in a row? The competitive part of me is like, no, but if I know they're going to get swept, then I'd be like, okay, whatever. I think I'd lean towards the top 10 pick because I know they're going to get swept. If I went in unknowingly, then I would say, hey, let's go for it. See what happens. It would be great experience for like a guy like Scottie, get his first playoff run and stuff like that. But yeah, that I feel like I'm going against my soul saying that because I'm so anti-tank in every way imaginable. Like, so this feels wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other side for you and disagree. I'm gonna go firmly in the make the postseason and get swept in the first round side of this one. I think number one, this would be I think a different conversation if the Raptors hadn't just gotten Scottie Barnes in the draft and if Barnes wasn't looking as good as he's looking. Because I feel like it's just sort of like, oh yeah, what do they need to tank for? They got Scottie Barnes. That's what matters going forward. Obviously, it'd be cool to get another blue chipper to pair with him, I guess, but I think Scottie is sort of like you're not going to do much better than him with whatever tanking job you can do. There's also a lot of really, really bad teams in the NBA this year. More bad teams in the Western Conference. It's going to be difficult to tank all the way down. I think the 10th place team in the West right now is the Kings, and they're like 11 and 18 or something terrible like that. Like it is not going to be an easy job to fall in the standings. And the Raptors right now have a positive point differential. They've got a top 10 offense. They've got a weird sort of ascendant defense that's kind of in the middle of the pack right now after a rough start. I think at full health, this team is pretty good and like could maybe even contend for like a 6 seed. They're like a game out of the 6 seed right now because the East is so clustered. And so I would rather see them fight for that. But also, the way I'm thinking about it is they're getting swept in the first round. They're probably not playing the Nets or the Bucks. And I'm assuming those are going to be the top two teams in the Eastern Conference, which means that they're getting swept in the first round. So they are playing one of those two teams.
Yeah.
And that means they've been in the play-in. And I am fully here for 2 play-in wins or 1 play-in win. That sounds fun as hell. That sounds like a cool way to finish off the season. You get like the sort of high of the season. It becomes a successful season on its own just by getting those play-in wins and getting into the postseason. So I don't really care if they get swept, if they get those 2 or 1 fun, play-in wins.
I wasn't thinking about the play-in. That's a good point.
So we've landed on me being correct with this one. You love to see it. Is there a point that they could get to, do you think, if things were to go haywire over the next week or 2 here as they've got guys in the protocols? And hey, they might not play any games between now and then, so maybe the record isn't all that affected. Is there like a level, like a record that you would kind of see as like a tipping point? Like if they get to the 41 game mark, which I think is like early January, if they get to that point and the record is blank, at what point does your opinion go back to after just joining my side? At what point does it go back to the other side of, you know what, screw it, just tank for a top 10 pick?
I'd wait till February.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be just a little bit past the halfway point because even if they have a tough stretch for like the next, I don't know, 5, 6, it couldn't be more than that games. That's not enough. That's not enough to like give up on the whole season. So I would say wait till February. There's a couple months after that, then you'll know. You'll know.
Yeah. I would also, my last argument against the idea of tanking here, and I guess I'm getting out in front of it because it's probably going to become a thing at some point because people are freaks and love to tank. Like getting to see what Scottie Barnes is along with past, even if they don't make the play-in, let's say it's a race for the play-in and they come 11th. I would rather see that features like the fully healthy roster together. You get a lot of minutes and sort of sample size of what the Siakam, Barnes, OG trio could look like, how they work as starters playing small, how they might work playing in bigger lineups. I think that's all really important, and you're not going to get that same sort of development time if you're actively trying to tank the season away like they did last year, which again, part of that was due to circumstance. They just didn't have their guys available. But I think like the COVID's hitting early enough this season, which what a messed up thing to even be thinking of like, yes, this is conveniently timed COVID, but like it's hitting early enough that there's plenty of runway. It's a longer season, of course. It's not just the 72 games where it comes up on you fast. And I think I would much rather see them try to, actually see what they've got in this group than just sort of, throw another lost season to the wind, even if circumstance might end up dictating that should be what they do. Either way,
let me put you on the spot. Let me put you on the spot. How many games do you think OG, Pascal, and Scottie have played together?
I think they played 2 together, right?
Played 4 games for 75 minutes.
That's great.
We have not seen that lineup together at all.
So ridiculous.
I mean, this feels like the 4-year curse because of the 4 Kawhi bounces. So I don't even know about the whole healthy roster later, man. I feel like we're asking for a lot, but whatever.
You mentioned the Kawhi shot, and that is a wonderful tease into the next segment, Jamar, as the next segment, the next Would You Rather, does revolve around the Kawhi shot in some way, shape, or form. Well, we'll get to that in just 1 second. But before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends over at Boost Mobile. You listen to podcasts for the power of knowledge about the things that you like and enjoy. You switch to Boost Mobile for the power of saving money, because with Boost, you get the power of a free 5G phone, so you can listen to all the latest episodes of your favorite podcasts, like Locked On Raptors, the power of 3 unlimited data lines for $30 a month per line, so you can get so your family can harness all that brain power as well, and you get the power of one of America's largest 5G networks, so you can go do it all at the speed of 5G. With all that money you'll save and all that knowledge you'll gain, just how powerful will you become? Switch to Boost Mobile and find out. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A32 5G when you switch over to one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Free phone, limited to new customers and 1 per line. Additional restrictions apply. Offers and coverage not available everywhere for all phones and networks. See boostmobile.com for details, and a reminder that this one is only available to our wonderful listeners and viewers down in the United States of America. All right, Jamar, we continue on here and round out part 1 of 2 Would You Rather episodes here on Locked On Raptors. Your first listen of the day. Thank you for being here. Let's dive into this next one I've concocted for you, Jamar. Would you rather that the video of Vince Carter's dunk contest win or the video of the Kawhi shot be scrubbed from the internet forever? You can't watch one of these 2 videos for the rest of time. Which one are you choosing to remove from the internet? Jamar, go.
So I don't know if you can see this properly because my camera is not the greatest, but I'm just gonna come a little closer here.
Okay.
Come a little.
Is that the Kawhi shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. So that's my answer. I would. Oh, sorry, Mike. My bad.
Yeah. Which one are you removing? Yeah.
My bad. I read this wrong. I'm sorry. This is the one I want to keep. This is the one I want to keep. So I want to remove the Vince one. I'm sorry. I almost screwed that up. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Vince is the reason why I became a Raptors fan in the first place. Mm-hmm. He's polarizing amongst some people because they're stupid, but I would rather get rid of the Vince stuff because, I mean, the Kawhi shot still gives me chills when I watch it, and especially the TNT version where Kevin Harlan and I think it was Greg Anthony, they go at the same time. Is this the dagger? Yeah. It was perfect. Kevin Harlan's my favorite broadcaster, by the way, but
he's great.
Yeah, it was just everything was so perfect. I could watch that over and over and over again. I haven't watched Vince's video of winning a slam dunk contest in quite some time, so I mean, it's drilled in my head, so I can get rid of the Vince one. And besides, he has so many other dunks. I mean, when I think Vince Carter dunks, I'm not even thinking the dunk contest. I'm thinking him in the Olympics jumping over Frederick Weiss,
right, and
basically ruining his NBA career because he never came overseas.
The point you make about the other Vince dunks is compelling, and it does make me think for a second about my answer here, but I am saying I'm removing the Kawhi shot from the internet. Wow. I'm keeping the Vince Carter dunk contest on there. One, it's longer. It's just more content. You're going to fill more time of your day. The joy of watching that Vince Carter dunk contest and just like the audience shots of Shaq and KG and whoever else is there losing their gourds every time he throws down a dunk is amazing. Dikembe. And I think my favorite sound in the history of sports is the very curious reaction to when he dunks his arm for the first time. And everyone's just like, what did he do? And then the slow murmur and rise of, oh my God, what did he just do? I can't not have that video. It's probably the thing I've watched the most on YouTube in my entire life, other than all of the Locked On Raptors episodes, of course. But it is I go back to it probably once every 6 months. And the Kawhi shot, I can just look at your shirt and I got the picture. I'm good. I don't need there's so much Kawhi shot lore outside of like the video itself, that and like the artwork and the photos. Like it's not taking away all of Keyshawn Mystery's photos that's not getting removed. It's just the video in terms of online, the Twitter videos and YouTube and stuff. That's gone. I think I could survive without that. I've also watched it so many times, it's burned in my brain and I'll never forget it. So
Right.
I think I'm taking the Kawhi shot down from the internet. This sounds crazy, but the dunk contest that Vince is in is like an all-timer. It's the best dunk contest there is. You get T-Mac in there. Jerry Stackhouse is doing stuff. It's a damn good one. Have I changed your mind at all?
No. You haven't swayed me on this one. But it's funny you bring up Jerry Stackhouse because I remember feeling so bad for him because remember he had to dunk after Vince. So it's even if you pulled down, even if you pulled down something cool, it's like, do you remember it? No.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody's still watching Vince's replays. Like, oh, Stackhouse just dunked. Oh, I missed it. What was it? Whatever.
Yeah. T-Mac also probably wins any other dunk contest other than that one, and he also was part of the between the legs dunk. I can't get rid of that video. By the way, I'm gonna post all of these Would You Rathers in the community tab on the YouTube page as polls. You can go in there and vote on those if you'd like. But that I think is probably the place we can leave this episode of the pod. We will come back tomorrow. I have 4 more Would You Rathers to run through. We got derailed a little bit by all the COVID news. Hopefully nothing happens when we record part 2 in minutes here. But until then, thank you for tuning in. Jamar, anything you would like to promote for the good people out there?
Yeah, check my Twitter handle on the screen. I have a bunch of articles, recaps, things like that for Raptors Republic. So, you can check that out.
Excellent. Go be sure to check out all Jamar's wonderful work. Follow him on Twitter, of course. A great follow. Not nearly enough followers, I would say, for Jamar. So go follow Jamar right there. The handle is on your screen. You can, of course, find me at Woodley Sean. You can subscribe to, rate, review, tell a friend, all that good stuff on all your favorite podcast apps for the low price of On the House. You can also go to YouTube and subscribe over there. Hit that big red button. It's much appreciated. I also would like to promote signing Amir Johnson once again. Go do it. We need more Amir with the Raptors. We need to have him go out on a high. Bring back Linus Kleza. Bring back all the failed early 2000s guys. I'm cool with that too.
Someone just posted on Twitter, take Alvin out of the booth. Put him out of court. We need a point guard. We don't have a point guard.
Yeah.
We literally don't have a point guard.
Let's circle back to this right now. You have your choice between OG, Chris Boucher, Justin Champagny, Svi Mihailuk, Isaac Bonga, maybe Kem Birch if he's back, and then you throw in Brandon Goodwin and Juwan Morgan and Nick Stauskas. Name who you're. I guess Goodwin is a point guard. He might be the starting point guard for the team in this game,
Lord.
which is insane. But if you had to pick one of those guys to run most of the possessions, is it just OG? You just saying OG, put empty the clip, go put up 40 shots?
It's got to be OG. I mean, he's the only guy that can that we knows the offense and can create. Will he pass the ball a lot? No, but I don't care at this point.
Who is he passing to? Honestly,
exactly.
Yeah, this is a futile effort.
This game's not going to get played. Okay, this game's not going to get played.
Yeah, I really hope not. But boy, the NBA has really beaten out my ability to believe that they're going to do good things and right things. So we'll see, I suppose. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Would You Rathers. Jamar, this was awesome. Everyone out there, stay safe, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. And I'll be wearing the same clothes. Will Jamar be wearing the same shirt? Or maybe he's wearing a Vince Carter dunk contest shirt because I've changed him over to the dark side. Who's to say? But we will talk to you again tomorrow with another episode of Locked On Raptors. Bye-bye.